This video is sponsored by Motion VFX. If you're a creator recording long videos like podcasts, interviews, courses, events, or live streams, you've probably run into this. Your camera overheats, your battery dies, or you're hard plugged to a wall outlet. I've been shooting professionally on Sony mirrorless cameras for the past 10 years, and believe me, I've hit those limits as well. So I tested a bunch of different setups and landed on a simple combo that keeps your camera powered, cool, and free from the wall. You can shoot for hours with no interruptions. Let me show you how to turn your mirrorless camera into a long-form content machine. Alright, here's the full setup that I'm using to keep my Sony mirrorless camera running for long-form content. We've got a power bank, a cooling fan, a couple of cables, some Velcro, and of course the camera and tripod. Let's break it down piece by piece. For the camera and tripod, I'm using the Sony a6700 paired with the Magnus VT300. This is one of my go-to setups. The a6700 is one of the best value mirrorless cameras on the market right now, but this setup will work with a ton of other cameras as well. For power, I'm using the Anker 737 power bank. It's high capacity with multiple USB-C ports, and it's strong enough to power the camera and fan at the same time. I love the built-in color display. It shows you how much power is being drawn and how much time you have left, which can be extremely helpful on longer shoots. On average, with my setup, it's been able to power it while recording for about 7 hours, which is crazy. And at the end, if this does run out, you'll still have your fully charged camera battery. To prevent my camera from overheating, I'm using this cooling fan by Ulanzi. It clips right onto the back of the camera using the spring mount. It has 2 different fan speeds and a live temperature readout. It has an internal battery. It can go by itself for maybe about an hour. But if I need to record for longer than that, I can use the USB-C port and plug it into the Anker, and I can go for much longer. This exact fan will work with a ton of different camera brands and models because they all have about, the same universal footprint for the screen size, but it won't work with every camera, so you'll just want to make sure that this is compatible with yours. For cables, I've tested a few different setups. The Anker comes with its own USB to USB-C 2-foot cable, and it works really well, especially depending on how you mount the power bank to your setup. Personally, I love to keep a really minimal setup, and so sometimes I'll opt to switch it for this 1-foot right angle USB-C cable to go into the camera, and this 6-inch right angle USB-C cable to go into the fan. And that just makes it really nice, clean, and minimal. Just make sure to check your specific camera to see how your ports are oriented, if they're horizontal or vertical, or if there's any port doors that could get in the way of certain cable orientations. I've mounted the power bank 2 different ways. Option 1 is to attach the power bank to the leg of a tripod using industrial strength Velcro. This option is nice because you can still access and adjust the center column of the tripod to make fine-tune adjustments to the height. Option 2 is to use the center column of the tripod itself as a clamp. You can simply, use some tension to hold the power bank in there. The downside is you do lose the ability to adjust the height. Personally, I lean towards the Velcro method. It's easy. Overall, I think it's more secure and more flexible. But it is nice to know that you can still mount it in a pinch if you don't have any Velcro already. And just a reminder, I have linked all of this gear from the power banks to the cables in the description below. Alright, the setup is done, everything is powered, mounted, and cooling like a champ. So naturally, the next thing to do is to put it to the test with something completely unnecessary. I'm going to show you this setup in action while I record the sponsored section of today's video, but I can only say one line every 15 minutes, which means this camera is going to be on and recording for hours. It's ridiculous, it's unnecessary, but hey, if it can handle this, it can handle anything. Let's get started. Boom, timer is started. Let's go ahead and do this first line. Motion VFX is an incredible platform where I get all of my video effects for both YouTube videos and client work. And now I wait 15 minutes till the next one. They make awesome titles, transitions, overlays, add-ons, and more. Okay, now I gotta wait another 15 minutes. Let's start the timer. Timer number 2. I've been showcasing them all throughout this video already, and they are constantly coming out with new products. In fact, they just dropped tons of new template packs inside of M Extension, which can easily help you take your videos to the next level. I'm just thinking like, how fast this would have been if I didn't do it this way. I've been using their plugins for nearly 10 years, and I'm so excited to be partnering with them on this video today. They're high quality effects, and they're easy to use. You can check it out at the link in the description below. All right, sponsored challenge is complete, and yes, this camera is still recording. It's been going for 2 hours and 10 minutes. It is still at 98% battery, which is what it was when I started this, and there's no overheating signals. Thanks again to Motion VFX for sponsoring this video, and thanks to you guys for bearing with me as I did that long challenge. All right, now let's talk about a few other things you can do with this setup. First up, we can use this to power lights. Use Velcro to attach the power bank to a light stand, and then you can run a USB-C cable to a USB-C powered light. Your lights will be able to run for a really long time. Secondly, you can of course use this to charge your phone. Say you're out on a shoot and you've been recording and you just need to get some extra battery life into your phone. Boom, done. Now remember, gear is simply a tool. It doesn't make the content, you do. Your voice, your message, your creativity, that's what matters. But this setup can make creating long-form content more attainable and just easier. There are people who are going to be impacted by the content that you make, so don't let fear get in the way, don't let gear get in the way. You guys have got this. If you're interested in the main camera that I'm using in this setup, it's one of the best value ones on the market right now, and I have a full video all about it that you can check out right here. I've placed links to all of the gear mentioned in this video in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay creative. Peace!